Welcome to Panther Sports Talk inside the McLeod Center with UNI Volleyball coach Bobbi Petersen. And coach, another season with another conference championship, birth into the postseason with the NCAA. And this was a special group that you had a chance to coach this year, and they accomplished quite a lot, didn't they?
They really did. And I think, going into the season, I think even though we were picked first in the conference, I think there was a lot of doubt for a lot of different reasons. And obviously you lose a lot in some of the kids that we had. And I always say it's really hard to start as a freshman, and then when you had graduated four-year starters, that's a lot, and especially when they had really big roles and have been in those roles for so long. So trying to find people that cannot replace them, because you don't ever really do that, but to step in, and maybe some kids taking a little bit more load and other kids stepping in was a big part of trying to figure our team out. And I thought we did a really good job in terms of student athletes being willing to do things that really were outside their comfort zone, and things that I look at as really not what they came here for. So playing different positions, I give a ton of credit to a lot of our kids for being able to do that. And actually it was a lot of fun, and I hope they enjoyed it, because I look for that to be something in the future as well.
Winning the regular season outright is a pretty big deal, and I know that had to been one of the team's goals.
Yeah, it's definitely always a mission, but I talked to our team about it's the team that is going to be able to handle the grind that can do that, because when you look at a conference season, it's over 2.5 months, and it's a time that you really have to be able to show up night in and night out. It's not just one tournament that you have to be pumped up and ready to go for. It's night in and night out, being able to do it. Practices have to be an important part of that. Obviously, how you practice is how you're going to compete. So the grind in that conference season, the excitement of preseason is gone. You've played a lot of awesome tournaments, and it's new and fresh, and now it's getting to be more of a grind, is how I put it. And being able to handle that is huge. So I'm extremely proud of our team. I mean, we didn't roll anyone, that's for sure, but to be able to come out with the 17-1 record in a conference that was very competitive, I'm really proud of our team to be able to handle that.
A lot of individual honors as well. Talk about Carly Taylor, Player of the Year, and Rachel Coop, the Setter of the Year, helping lead this as those seniors.
Yeah, and obviously coming into this season, we definitely looked at those two for a lot of leadership and guidance, but their production on the court needed to be huge as well. And when you look at Carly, I always talk about everybody's like, the big arm, the heavy swing, but she was going to have to bring a whole lot more to our team than that for us to be able to be successful. She had to be not only a 6-rotation player, but a 6-rotation player that could do well. So being a primary passer, being able to get there and play defense. She's one of our best blockers on the team. So she had a whole lot more that she needed to bring for us, and she definitely did that. Rachel, what can you say? A kid that I think has grown so much and has had an interesting journey, but was able to step up. Obviously on the offensive side, she was dealing with a lot of, not dealing with, that sounds, but freshmen, new people to our program, but also some of our returners in different roles. So just getting them to feel comfortable. Her confidence in our offense has to be there, and especially for our hitters that are new, our hitters that are doing different things. And then just being able to step out in leadership in a lot of different ways. She's that kid that's always smiling, you see that, but you also have to have an accountability factor for your team, and she was able to get out of her comfort zone and do a lot of that this year as well.
Talk about just that personality she has and why that was important leading the 7 true freshmen this year.
Yeah, I think, she's somebody that has been able to, especially with 7 freshmen, find a way to, there's that balance between being that kind-hearted person, which she definitely is, but also having expectations within our program and making sure our young kids understand those expectations. And sometimes that means you have to get a little harder with them, but it's kind of that tough love. And she has a really good balance with that for sure.
All right, more with head coach Bobbi Petersen right after this here on Panther Sports Talk.